What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Raider Critique. Man, I am sorry about the last live I was trying to do. For some reason, I was not getting anything coming through the voice meter program that I use for this thing to make me sound as extremely clear as I sound. If I'm even sounding that way at all, I don't know. This is my first time ever really trying to do anything live like this using this program. Now, I should be getting your guys' chat over here in the corner, but for some reason I am not. At least I don't see it anyway. But the reason why we're all here anyway, it's because it's free agency frenzy and we have had a bunch of moves made. A lot of us didn't even think that we were actually going to have anything done after the first day. It was, I don't know, I was about to have a heart attack pretty much. It didn't feel very good that we weren't making any moves the first day. I figured we were about to basically shit the bed, but then we started making moves, and the first move we made was, well, I don't know whether it was the first move that we made, but we did trade Yannick Ngakoue, our star defensive end that we pulled last year, for Rock Ya-Sin, which happens to be a cornerback from the Indianapolis Colts. Now, there's a lot of YouTubers out here who are real high on Rock Ya-Sin. I personally don't have an opinion on the guy. He was the Colts fill-in corner for an injured starting corner that they had, and he had a pretty good season. I don't know if he was worth Yannick Ngakoue, but Yannick Ngakoue was expendable, especially after we picked up the next guy that I've got on this list here, which is Chandler Jones, the all-time sack leader for the past 8 seasons, at least from what I can tell, since 2012. This dude has been wrecking shop for the Patriots and the Cardinals for 10 years, leading the league in sacks every year since his arrival into the league, which, man, I'm glad to have him. It's going to be nice to have him over there on the other side of Max Crosby, which, you know, we've already all reported that he signed a massive extension for $98.98 million. You know, and, dude, we've got this guy now. I believe it's a 2-year deal or a 3-year deal for this guy. It's 3 years for 15 million or no, it's more than that. 52.5 million. I can't even read my own handwriting. But 52.5 million for 3 years, 34 million of that is guaranteed. So there's a hell of an addition. When we signed this guy, that's when the relief finally came over me, like, okay, we're going to actually do something. We're actually making moves. And all in this time, our front office is being quiet before any of these moves happened. They were making cap room. It really looked, we didn't have any idea. I know Twitter was going crazy. A lot of Facebook was going crazy. Social media was going crazy altogether because we weren't making any moves that first day. And then, bam, we land Belial Nickels. We land this dude right here in Chandler Jones, which happens to be, if you UFC fighters, that's John Jones' brother. And then also on top of that, we pulled Rock Ya-Sin. And that was all in the second day of free agency. So that wasn't even the big one. I thought we were done. I figured that we had enough money, you know, saved up. I figured we'd just go with that to the draft after we plug some holes that we need, because we do have a lot of holes on this team still. You know, we were wondering about who was going to be our number one wide receiver. Zay Jones wound up getting $10 million a year for the Jaguars for 3 years. So he can go have fun losing over there. Feel bad for the guy. I do want to salute him because he was a hell of a player for us. And I'm not going to hate on a Raider. That dude was a damn good player. And, you know, he will be missed. The only thing that I'm not going to miss about him is running the route too damn short in that playoff game, which is the reason why we didn't advance. You know, I mean, let's just be real. Yeah, but even though it was a pick, you know, you could have put that on too. But that's a whole different story. We're just going to say that we lost a few people, Zay Jones being one of them, but we've also gained quite a few. And a guy that I reported on that he was franchise tagged, well, I guess we are going to get him. And motherfucking fuck yeah, dude, we got Devonte Adams. Now, this right here was a pleasant surprise because I didn't think we were going to be able to pry him from the Packers. But when he came out and said, I am not playing under this bullshit-ass franchise tag, this franchise tag that's basically a number that has not gone up in 20 years, okay? When all these players' contracts have gone up year after year after year after year, being a top-of-the-tier type of wide receiver that Devonte Adams is, if that was you, would you play for $12.5 million knowing damn well Zay Jones just got $10 million a year for 3 years with the Jacksonville Jaguars? I think not. And even though they wanted to restructure his contract, look, man, he wants to play with Derek Carr. He played with Derek Carr back at Fresno State. They went to a bowl together in Fresno State. These guys are buddies, man. We thought Khalil Mack and Derek Carr were friends. These guys are definitely tighter than that. They spent all of college together. They basically grew up together, and he wanted to be here. He wanted to be here so damn bad, he bought John Gruden's house. You can't make this shit up, man. And, there was a lot of people out there going, reporting that, Devonte Adams bought a house in Las Vegas. Man, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay the right straight to the mouth. Q from Locked On Raiders straight up said on his podcast that he bought a house in Las Vegas, but it was in a different neighborhood. Now, we all know that's bullshit because he bought John Gruden's house. Q could have been a lot more truthful when it came to that. But we already put 2 and 2 together anyway when he bought a house in Las Vegas 2 months ago. But Devonte Adams is a Raider. His contract details is $141 million for 5 years. So we locked this dude down on a 5-year deal for $141 million. And I think that breaks down to roughly in between $24 and $27 million a year. He took a pay cut to come here. And all these people who are running around talking about, now we need to just go ahead and get another quarterback and get rid of Derek Carr. Devonte Adams wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Derek Carr. And that's all I'm going to say about that. It's not like we're going to be going to get Watson anytime soon. He's now a Cleveland Brown with Amari Cooper. Now, these are the rest of the signings. Not to go ahead and belittle them or put them on the back burner, but I just didn't have the time to make backdrops for them. We have Belial Nickels, which we actually did fill a lot of holes with this, although I really don't understand why we have so many running backs, but we did fill the holes. Look, Belial Nickels is a defensive tackle, came from the Bears. The guy's actually very decent, and I think he had roughly in between 6 and 8 sacks last year for the Bears. So, he's going to solidify the middle altogether. Then we went and picked up a cornerback, Anthony Everett, and I believe that we picked him up from Baltimore. He was a depth piece, but he's actually looking to have a breakout year this year. A lot of people are expecting a lot more out of him. So this was also an excellent pickup because we did need a cornerback. I do believe that it's cornerback depth. But, he's not the starter that we're going to have, but I think that he will have a very fair chance at getting a spot on this roster. Now, we also went and picked up a running back in Brandon Bolden. He used to be a New England Patriot. Now, understandably so on why he has been brought in here. He's familiar with Josh McDaniels' type of system, type of offensive play calling scheme. This guy's going to get a shot to be a part of that running back room that is very crowded with Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake that we just re-signed, and then, of course, we've got Brandon Bolden. I don't think Jalen Richard is on the team any longer. But I do believe that we have 4 running backs and 1 fullback that's on the roster. Now, we went and picked up another wide receiver in Mac Hollins. We got him from the Miami Dolphins. He was the guy who made the catch when we lost to them in that squeaky, I don't know, I can't remember whether it was overtime or the end of the 4th quarter, but he was the one who basically caught the ball when Arden Key got that face mask, basically solidifying the game for the Miami Dolphins. It's understandable why we got him. He's a depth piece. We need more wide receivers on the squad, losing dudes like Zay Jones, possibly not bringing back Deshaun Jackson, and we need people to compete for those positions, man, with Hunter Renfrow, Devonte Adams, and then really no potential number 2, that's up in the air because you already know Renfrow is going to play the slot and Devonte Adams is going to be the number 1. So it's a toss-up on who's going to be in that number 2 position, whether it's Tyrod Johnson that we got last year or whether it's going to be Mac Hollins or somebody else, maybe somebody that we pick up in the draft. Now we picked up another running back, an ex-Detroit Lion in Amir Abdullah. This guy, man, I don't know why we brought him in. I guess we'll find out on whether he's still got any gas left in the tank. He could possibly be a cut coming into the season. Then we also picked up Darius Phillips. Now, I do have these guys' contracts listed right here in front of me. Most of these guys are undisclosed. They haven't disclosed their contracts yet. But with Darius Phillips, they did mention his. His was a 1-year deal for $2.25 million. So we're bringing him in for depth. You know what I'm saying? Don't really know much about him. We did pick up a guard in Alex Barr, whose contract is not disclosed as of yet. And then we also brought in a fullback after waiving Alec Ingold. And he's got a 1-year deal, but also those numbers are undisclosed. Now, Brandon Bolden is undisclosed. Abdullah is undisclosed. Hollins is a 1-year deal, but the number is undisclosed. Everett is a 1-year, $4.5 million deal, and Nickels is a 2-year deal worth $11 million, $9 million guaranteed. So, even with spending this kind of money right here, Raider Nation, we still got cap room. There's still other guys that we can go out there and get. But even with all of the free agency acquisitions that we've already done, doing things like getting Devonta Adams, nobody expected that except for us. I had dudes telling me at work that Devonta Adams was talking all that shit, not wanting the franchise tag because Tom Brady announced that he was coming out of retirement. I had to set that dude straight like 3 days ago before he hit me up on the day Devonta was brought to the Raiders going, damn, bro, you were right. We've been sitting here talking about it for 2 months. You know what I mean? We all knew where Devonta wanted to be. We all knew Devonta bought a house in Vegas. That's not a coincidence. But I can tell you this, man, with the addition of Chandler Jones, with the addition of Belial Nickels, with the addition of Devonte Adams, it doesn't matter what the Chargers or the Broncos or the Chiefs do at this point. It really doesn't matter because we're wrecking it in free agency. We gave up a first round and a second round pick for Devonta, so we're not going to have a first round and second round pick this year, but shit, we haven't nailed on a first round and second round pick in ages. What's the point of having a first round and second round pick when we already know that we've got Devonta Adams for those picks? And we possibly could trade up into the second round if we play our cards right. But I'm not going to question this regime any longer. Absolutely not, man. This regime has shut me up right off the bat. I'm loving what I'm seeing from this new regime, this new Raider way. This new Raider way I can get behind. Calm, cool, calculated, and deadly when striking. I love it, man. I love it. And I've never seen this type of regime on this football team, for this football organization, for as long as I've been alive. And I can definitely, honestly attest to that. this feels different. And I'm not just saying that. This feels a lot different. So if I was to go ahead and grade this coaching regime right now, just on free agency alone, a lot of people are going to give me a lot of hate on this, but, out of a possible A++, I give them an A+. I give them an A+ all day long. I would give them an A+ 3 months from now. I would give them an A+ 2 months ago. If you would have told me that they were going to make these type of moves. This is a coaching regime we can get behind. And it's not washed up John Gruden and his 1998 playbook with his celebrity GM, Mike Mayock, who was spending money left and right, signing these really big contracts to these washed up players like Corey Littleton. And I'm not going to lie, I liked Nick Kwiatkowski, but he was, we released him for a reason. We saved that money. We got rid of him. We got rid of a lot of these players that Mayock and Gruden brought in and saved a bunch of money. Luckily, this new regime came in here and fixed it before Mayock and Gruden really fucked us up. Because if they would have kept going, I'm pretty sure they would have depleted whatever type of salary this organization had. That's real talk, man. That's real talk. I'm actually really happy about it. How do all y'all feel about it? Now, I can't see the chat. I actually had a program that was supposed to bring everything up in here to where I was going to be able to see the chat on the side. Obviously, I ain't got that figured out yet. But also coming up, with the way this video even started, it didn't seem like I knew what the hell I was doing anyway, because I wasn't getting any sound out of my program. So, it is what it is. I do appreciate everybody for stopping by this channel. If you're new, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications, man, on more Raider content through the off-season and on-season for our beloved Las Vegas Raiders, man. Right here on the Raider Critique, where we don't drink the corporate Kool-Aid. If we see shit and we smell shit, we call it shit. It's nothing else but that. Now, I know that I'm not for everybody, but for some of y'all, I am, because you already know. I'm just going to tell you the truth as a fan. I'm not inside the front office, but I'm going to use logic when it comes down to breaking these things down. And, I can honestly say that I'm really happy to see what we are seeing right now. We are building a juggernaut that is going to basically run the AFC for many years to come. I've got full faith in this coaching staff. And I hope y'all do too. And have faith in our quarterback, because now we've got all the pieces in place. There is no more excuses. We went and got his guy. The coaching regime has shown their dedication to Derek Carr by going and getting his guy. Now it's time for us to put up or shut up. It's time to get in this and win out on the AFC and finish at the top of the AFC. Because that's where we need to be. With moves like this, I have no doubt in my mind that we don't finish with the best record in the AFC this year. Regardless on what the Chiefs, Broncos, and the Chokers do. And I don't care if they've got Khalil Mack. We've got the best pass rush defense in the league as of right now. We've just got a few more pieces to fill in. We've got offensive line. We definitely need linebackers, with Denzel Perryman being the only one coming back from last year's team. And, we may even need a safety or two. We don't know if Jonathan Abrams is going to work out, even though I want him to. I think Jonathan Abram is a hell of a player. And I know that he has been hurt. But at times, that dude has showed how great he really is. So anyway, Raider Nation, man, don't forget to like, subscribe before you head on out of here and go check out Sultan. And I'm sure there's a few more lives that are getting ready to pop up here, and I don't want to intrude on any of them. But I appreciate every single one of you. Please just go ahead and hop on in there and hit that bell for notifications, man, and tell your friends. Share the content. By the way, if you guys didn't know, bro, Mikey Raider is back. So, I can't take credit for that one. But I know I can say this, man. It's really nice to see him. It's really nice to, a blast from the past. And he's going to start, he's doing a show next Friday too. So be on the lookout for that. And, hey, just like I've always said, man, it's Raider Nation for life. Good times are ahead, and we're all about to witness it. We'll see y'all later, man.